Hey guys, welcome back to Random American. Today, working on something a little bit special. It's for a buddy of mine. Stick around. Okay, so today I am working on a Christmas present for one of my very, very good friends. I bought this for him for Christmas because he is cleaning up his farm and he's using a bunch of POSs. So I wanted to get him something quality and something made in the US, and the first place I looked, Council Tool. I've used their stuff for a very long time now, and I very much believe in their quality and price being a very good balance. So what I have here is a 32-inch handled Jersey sport utility with the phantom bevels in it. Mine doesn't have these, and I'm quite jealous. So Council Tool, if you're watching, I could use one of these. Actually, what I'd really like, I don't know, whatever. What I'd really like is a hatchet size this. I don't know, my brain just likes it. So what I'm going to do, take a sticker off since that caused me problems. I'm trying to keep this as original as possible. I'm not really changing the profile on this. I'm just going to bring it down to where it's actually sharp. Right now, I've had spoon handles that were sharper than this. So, Council Tool, you do a great job, but I understand saving money where you can, but come on, this was not good. So, pretty simple. All I'm going to do is I'm starting out with a Nicholson file. You don't have to use Nicholson files, but they last a lot longer, and I think it works out pretty good. C-clamp, couple of rags. We're just going to get this thing clamped on here again. I'm using the rag to keep from marring up the handle, but I also need this on here pretty tight. So, got it on here pretty good. And it's real simple. Same way with sharpening. Don't overthink it. You can run a file sideways and just run it back and forth, and it'll work just fine. So the only thing I did do to this is I hit it with my stone real quick just to get a good feel of how even all of this was. It has a little bit of a low spot right here, but I don't think that'll bother us too much. And I was just bored and getting a feel on it. So you just get over here, and you just run back and forth. And the good part about this is you can very easily see where you have and have not been filing. And if you're ever wondering, you just run your file in a different direction, and it'll almost highlight it from your point of view. And then you go back over in the same direction that you were, and then all of a sudden, it cleans it all back up. Now I can run it that angle there. I can sit on this side if you want, and exact same thing. Now, to be completely honest, you can get this at such a steep angle that you're almost touching the eye. And that's going to be somewhere in the 20-degree area. And you'll have to play around with it some. But you can go that fine on these axes, and I swear they'll hold up. You just might have to micro bevel this a little bit. And if you're wondering why I'm not going in the same spot, or I'm not traveling as much, is because I can see how far I have to go before I really bring this down to a point. And it's very obvious, because I'm focusing on this right here. I have a long way to go right here, and I haven't even come up and touched the top of the bevel up here. So we're doing pretty decent so far. Get back on this side so you guys can see a little bit better. This isn't particularly my favorite side to be on, but for right here it kind of makes sense. And again, you can just run this thing completely sideways. And there's a lot of guys that prefer to do it this way. And I can definitely see why. You know, it's just working like a stone. You can use your hand over here to kind of guide you so you can stay on the exact same plane. And let's go over something else. I've always heard for a very long time that you have to apple seed these, which means your bevel comes down like this instead of being straight to reinforce it. While for a lot of it I've found that to be true, but you don't ever get that really fine cutting edge. What I have found is you come down straight and then you very little bit micro bevel the last bit. See if my fingers will bend like that. But you'll micro bevel that last bit, and that gives you the support you need, and it'll actually pop the wood away from that extra fine part of your edge, and it's almost like reinforcement that you don't have to use because it's keeping a lot of the pressure away from that immediate area, if that makes sense. Now I could be wrong, but that's just what I've noticed with personal use and using these. And if there's somebody out there that has more experience than this, or more experience with this than I do, comment, let me know your thoughts on it. I'm always here to listen. Just make sure you're getting your entire bit whenever you're reprofiling something, or even just sharpening in general, so you're working that all down even. You'll see a lot of older axes where the top has had just the life completely sharpened out of it and the bottom sticks out real far. Well, it's because that's the side that gets all the beating, and they don't sharpen all the way down, they just sharpen to get their edge back. And while that technically works, you're also not getting the most out of your axe. And in a world of chainsaws, getting the most performance out of your axe is how you keep swinging them. See, now I'm getting really flat, so I can feel whenever I'm right where I need to be, and the pushing is getting much harder. I like to get that low spot out of there. Not that he's going to care, he's just going to be happier than hell to have this thing. Again, I might go and buy one of these because they're not a bad price. And again, I'm a real sucker for the phantom bevels. And from what I hear, so I know I get wrapped up in the weeds of sharpen with a stone, get it a razor edge, make this a polish. The Forest Service, all they give their guys is a file for their axes, because to be fair, whenever you're out and about, really a file is all you need to get you out of a jam. You don't have to sit there and keep cutting for hours at a time, or cutting. You don't have to keep sharpening for hours at a time. Man, speaking is not my friend today. So, a file will get you plenty sharp. It'll get you serviceably sharp, where you can continue doing what you need to do. Yeah, that'll be good enough. This is the side I prefer because it keeps the handle out of my ribs. If I wasn't doing a video, I'd go to the other side of the table. But it's whatever you want to do, you know? Don't make a fly fart to me what you do. just as long as you're not getting hurt or hurting anybody else doing it. And this side will be the exact same thing. Okay, so something I've noticed that's interesting, there's a low spot up here, which is a mirror to the low spot over here. I wonder if it has something to do with their tooling and how they have it in their grinders that is making that happen, or it's just how the person holding it starts. I don't know. Food for thought. If anybody knows, let me know. And if anybody thinks I'm dogging on Council Tool, I'm absolutely not. I'm still a big fan. Alrighty, so this is going to take a minute. I'll see you in just a second whenever I am ready to take the stones to it. So now that we have the profile done on it, and as you can see, the little bit of a burr that I have, I know it's kind of hard to tell in video, but a little bit of a burr set up on there, and we are ready to polish this off and start working that burr from side to side before we finally strop it and get this thing just sharp enough to shave a gnat's ass. So let's see what happens here. I had my stones soaking in water a little bit. They've had a bunch of purple power put on them, so they'll have a little bit of lubrication on there, which is perfect for them. Starting out with a Arctic Fox puck that I got from Hoffman Blacksmithing. It works pretty good. I have a couple other stones that I normally use that I showed in my axe sharpening video that I prefer more, but works good. You're just going to get it on there flat and just work your way up and down. And you'll see where you're cleaning it off at, and you just keep working the whole bit. And I'm doing it on the coarse side starting out, because no matter how coarse your stone is, I promise the file is always more coarse and it will always leave deeper cuts. Go in there, you can hear it a little bit. Start on my micro bevel just as had, and I'm only turning it a few degrees to get that micro bevel in there. I did get a little bit carried away with this, not gonna lie, and I reprofiled it more than I promised myself I would, but that's alright. I'm sure he will still appreciate it. And whenever it comes to this step, you just have to think, you don't think about it as taking material off as much as getting rid of scratches. So as far as how long you spend on each side, it shouldn't be your biggest concern, I should say, because all you're doing is flattening out what is already there. You're not actually trying to take anything off of it. You're not reducing the length of your face. You're not doing any of that. You're just evening it out. It's kind of like doing body work. Of course, with as much as I weigh, I should do my own body work. Flip it over. Oh yeah, we're ready for that side. Oh yeah, she's coming around very nice and very quickly. So the file that I used was a Nicholson Mill Bastard file, and all that is it's a smoother cut than a straight mill file. And a regular mill file it cuts a lot, but cleaning up the grooves is a lot harder. Let's move on to this India stone. See, this India stone doesn't cut as good as I was hoping. I heard a lot of good things about them. It's a very hard stone. It doesn't like to cut very much. Let's try this side. Now it'll polish decent, but it's not a big material mover like my green one is. And I can't say the name of the green one. It starts with an O. And it's very German. It works very well, but it's a soft stone, so it wears. Woo. It's a narrower stone than I'm used to, and that'll bite you. I have no feeling in the end of my finger because of this stone right here. And my own lack of skill. Okay, so we're coming around. I'm not taking this to a full polish. I should probably go back to the Arctic Fox a little bit. But I'm not taking it to a full polish. If he wants to polish it, he is more than welcome. He is wanting to get into this sort of thing himself a bit. So I ain't going to take that away from him. I'm just going to make it what I consider acceptable. And because he's a friend of mine, it's getting a little extra than acceptable. I have a couple of deer hides that I am, oh, that's beautiful. Nice long sliver of steel coming off of there. I have some leather, or some hides that I'm working on to make leather out of. I'd really like to make a mask for this thing before I give it to him, but I'm not sure I'll have the hides done in time. I haven't showed it on here because I don't really know what I'm doing, which is most of this channel, but I don't feel like getting halfway through the process and realizing, oh damn, I just ruined these and I'm not going to be able to use them anyway. Most things I do, I am reasonably confident in my ability to complete said task. But if I think there's a greater than 50% chance of me just completely ruining it and giving the chance of somebody ruining something of theirs, I ain't gonna do it. I'd rather not. Because it's okay for me to tear my stuff up. It's not as okay for me to guide you in a direction that will cause you to tear your stuff up. Now you're a grown adult, you can do whatever you want. But I would rather not have that responsibility on my shoulders. Now, it's not my sharpest axe I ever put out, but she works. So, there you have it. I'm going to clean this thing up just a little bit because I got some water and stone grime on it. But if I get leather done quick enough, I'm going to make a mask for this, and I will show you guys. If not, this is how he's going to get it. So, thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please give it a like, and let me know if you've done anything like this in the past. If you have reprofiled your head, or if you've reprofiled a handle to make it an octagon. Let me know what all you've done it on. Thank you so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day.